Turn off, stop using the computers. Oh. We got, I guess, with everybody on there, we're not broadcasting clearly. Okay, so no network stuff. How's that?
That's an improvement. The video is improving because it was updating about one frame a second before.
Okay, cool. We're just going to go ahead and start. Broadcast started. Hello, this is, I don't even have a lower third. This is Kellen. We are here with a crowd from, a big crowd from Phoenix, Arizona, the Desert Retreat. And I have with me my Speed to Profit Marketing Intensive group. This video is not working as well as it did last time, although we have the very, very same setup. So I'm not sure what's up. This is one of my clients that's in my circle, my monthly follow. He was on last night or yesterday with our coaching, which we did from here also. So he's our only participant, a whole bunch of messages. So we'll just go ahead and do it. Results on a Rampage is a weekly hangout we do that I do from a marketing perspective. That's different than Speed to Profit Marketing, which we do weekly, and Break the Cage, which is our Saturday one. The purpose of Results on a Rampage is dedicated specifically to the cake to achieve important results. What does it take to do different than B to achieve results? You don't have to stay over there. Come on over here if you like. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do two things. I'm going to introduce everybody really quickly, and they can say whatever they want about themselves. And then the question I'm going to ask each of them to think about is the name, Results on a Rampage. If you think about that name and you think about results in your life, I want you to reflect on your own life and the word Results on a Rampage and what you think keys are to creating extraordinary results. It's what Results on Rampage are supposed to do. Now, so everybody knows that's over there, so look at that when we talk. Hi, webcam. Right? I'm Kellen Flukiger, the creator of Speed to Profit Marketing. I do marketing coaching, breakthrough coaching, business coaching, and my specialty is in helping people create, discover, develop, and deliver personal story. Results on a Rampage is a brainchild of mine for about 2 years now. It is the name and the book and the equation, which is the subject of the book. And the genesis for the Results on a Rampage Talk radio series, we did that show earlier this afternoon, also here and involved everybody. These Speed to Profit Marketing events are something we hold 4 times a year to allow people to learn the cutting edge, also to understand the most effective way to discover, develop, and deliver personal story to create unique advantage. That is my speech. I'll take a breath and introduce Dr. Manny St. Victor here to my left, who's from Atlanta, and is one of our attendees here and also one of my clients. Manny, what do you think?
Is about the first thing I heard you say on one of your earlier shows was ready, fire, steer. And a lot of times we don't get the results we're after because we're aiming and we don't fire, and we're aiming and the time passes and we're nervous about it. And Results on a Rampage is about executing, checking the results, updating, aiming in, shooting, and practicing, getting as many iterations of practice in by not delaying, not getting distracted by the fear. So that's what I think from it.
Perfect. Michigan, fabulous and famous rock star.
Hey guys, Sean here. Results on a Rampage.
Lean over, Sean, so we see your beautiful face a little more.
Yeah. Results Rampage. I'm thinking about clearance of execution. About just something and I talked about earlier about upper limits and breaking through barriers, probably self-imposed. That prevent, but very, very real, and breaking through those barriers so that we can achieve what we want to achieve.
Thank you. Perfect. Let's pass it on to Travis West, who's here from, I forgot which town in Utah, and is a rock star electrician and doing high-end work, and now couples make the most out of their lives.
So I'm Travis West, and
Marissa West.
So Results on a Rampage, first thing I execute for me is just, I used to just run, and now it's put results in front of the page so that you have a direction.
Clarissa, what would you like to add?
So for me, just meeting Kellen this last couple days in person, but results on a rampage to me is all about my commitment level. We can go week to week and ask ourselves, what have I committed to this week? What results have I been creating? We're always having results, so results always speak the truth. So it speaks the truth of what we've been committed to in the past and what we're really committed to.
Beautiful. Back row. This is the back bench in Canadian politics.
We're backbenchers.
Here, somebody grab the mic and rescue me here.
Alright, so on board the long day. And what I really get from just the phrasing of results on a rampage is it's all about the results. It's about maybe you've been trying and succeeding, or maybe you're trying, but it's about moving forward towards the result that you want and going forward with all of the force you have. I consider it more, I don't know, even when you say rampage, I still think avalanche. It's an avalanche of great results that Kellen has helped me work through to try to break through the next level. And that's what I really get. Results, good results.
Well, I think it's what I'm doing activities. You know, we can fill up our days with lots of stuff to do and fillers and this and that. Well, maybe it is important, but is it at the end of the day? You know, one of the warrior guys would say, is it putting buffalo meat on the table? Like at the end of the day, is what I'm doing putting buffalo meat on the table. So I'm trying to streamline and help and such. I'm doing, 3 businesses is to focus on the activities always. So you can watch, it's results is what counts.
So, Joy, why don't you have that guy you talk? Oh, wait a minute, that's a poster. I'm looking over. Here's what Sean mentioned, upper limit, and that's what I want to talk a little bit about today. Upper limit is a notion from a guy's book called The Big Leap. It's written by a fellow named Gay Hendricks, and he's a Stanford. And I think he's probably near 80 now, but it's an extraordinary, notionally, the concept of upper limits, which is the limit at which we enjoy abundant success and love, are his 3 trigger words in that book. When I read, he postulates that we get uncomfortable above a certain level of success. So he says we have a threshold, a thermostat, of abundant success and love that we feel comfortable having. And the minute something happens in our lives that puts us above that, we sabotage it, either immediately or shortly thereafter, to return us to our comfort zones. So this is the same idea. Being outside your comfort zone is bad, and you do something to pull back. From his research, and he's a coach of many Fortune 500 and very large companies and has enormous experience. So the book's very interesting. If you haven't read it, I would recommend reading it. It's kind of fun. And it resonated immediately with me, one of the archetypes that he talks about. And I'm not going to remember them all perfectly, but one of them is that you are, most of these things come with early year interaction, things that happen to you in your early years that sort of created this upper limit level for you, and the rest of your life you either understand that it's an upper limit and consciously raise it, or you are limited by it because you're unaware of what it's doing to you. And the 4 archetypes were: 1, you're somehow fundamentally flawed, and that you don't deserve or cannot have any more abundant success and love above a certain level. And that's the one that resonated with me because of my upbringing. Another one that he postulates is you don't want to leave members of your family behind. It's not in your history to be more successful than a certain amount. As soon as I read that, a particular client that I have came to mind very strongly because the languaging is, well, I can't do that because I will outshine my brothers and sisters, and I can't do that. And it was leaving the family of origin behind because it was just not done in that family. And a third one was you're sort of alone and you look around and I'm at 11. I can't I got to turn this knob down. I can't shine this brightly. And just as a matter of I can't stand out here alone, and I don't remember exactly. But all four of them were instantly recognizable. The one that was mine resonated is what I'm looking for with me right away, like boom, on my head, and created an awareness in me. And he even suggests in the groups that he facilitates using it as a verb, where you say, you know, like we Google words to look them up or things. He says, well, you know, we call it upper limiting as a verb. Oh, I'm upper limiting, meaning I'm limiting myself. I'm refraining from taking action. I'm stopping doing what I could do. I'm procrastinating. I'm doing everything because I'm already at this limit or past it, and somehow I've got to, you know, settle back down in my comfort zone. So Sean and I did talk about that earlier, and I'm in the event. Recommend reading that book as a real powerful tool to become first conscious of what you do to upper limit yourself, and second, when you do, you can. We had to go to light because our faces were dark, but you shine a light on that and you say, these things happen to give me this upper limit, that's fine, but I now know it is simply an upper limit and it's imaginary, and there's nothing that actually says that I can't enjoy more abundant success and love than this artificial limit that I've created based on one of these four archetypes. So I found it a really interesting thing. I teach it. Strong language can always give them away for upper limiting. So what I do want to do now is give a chance for anybody else to comment on that. Rick, you can join in the discussion if you like, and let's just talk. I'm talking, and I've been having a monologue, so I'm done.
The first place, one of the things we teach patients about is schema behavior, where there's this thing called amygdala hijack. When there's a thing called amygdala hijack, where when you put someone in fight, flight, faint mode, and you have a set of scripts that you do, and you perceive reality differently, where someone might be saying something to you that's complimentary, but in order to stay in the comfort zone, you translate what they say into either something snarky or sarcastic, make it fit the schema that you're used to. So you can go back to your dodging behavior, where you're having an argument, and you're not even hearing what the person is saying because you're responding to the things, and you're escalating, and even if they try to apologize, you don't let them. Even if you're getting a compliment at work, you interpret it as the person being sarcastic lying to you. So you keep yourself down by doing the things that are comfortable.
So that is validation of the concept of an upper limit, and we do that. We do those things. What's interesting about that is sometimes unconsciously. Until we begin the book, I could see really quickly, oh, and you know, you can identify the feelings and the behaviors suited with that feeling. Other comments? Anybody else read that book? That's me. Read it? Oh, you got to read it. It's really good. I told me to read it. I can't remember, but anyway. What's that? The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, amygdala, that was fabulous.
Well, the amygdala is that thing that pumps out the adrenaline and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
And so it means that it hijacks everything else. It shuts you down.
Yeah, your frontal lobe shuts down, and you're pure primal.
Yeah, we call that like your animal brain, or like, that's why, you know, waiting 10 seconds before you say something so that doesn't come to that forefront, I guess.
Yeah.
Not to do that.
Perfect. Any other comments on that?
Manny, that was beautifully put, because it's kind of like I can imagine in a more extreme example of talking to somebody and they're going, "Who are you talking to? You know, you looking at me?" You know, just the unconscious negative, usually negative reactions that we have, although it can be a positive reaction, a bad interpretation or an incorrect interpretation of somebody's behavior that we interpret favorably, which of course can turn out to be a huge embarrassment or distress to us when we discover that they didn't mean it that way, conversely. But you're right about the patterns or whatever whatever terminology you would use, the way we take things in. Kellen, how is it that you like to say that we see the world through the not as it is, but through the way that we perceive it? Is that the way you say it?
Oh, yeah, no. We don't see the world the way it is. We see the world the way we are. I've got a mic on. Sean, go ahead about the conversation that led to that.
Sure. And just to put a barrier between the brain capacity here and here, the only thing I can think is something wrong with your medulla oblongata. I'm at a water boy level. He's at a Harvard level. But I'm a part of a discipleship leadership development program. It's a group process, very intentional. It's supposed to be, fairly rapid paced, and there are a number of concepts in there that I've been very willing to accept and move forward with very, very quickly, and felt my faith expanding really, really rapidly, and my understanding expanding rapidly. But then in the context of the group, we're struggling in various ways, and maybe we're struggling. And rather than perhaps demonstrating the momentum that I had, I would actually pretend not to be elevating as fast as I was, and I made up excuses, and I felt, and it didn't feel conscious. It felt, but I'm like, oh, I'm going to be like I'm showing off or something, or maybe there's somebody else is moving as fast as I am here. So I consciously put the brakes on and actually pretended not to be making the progress that I was, and then assured that I didn't make any more progress, right? Actually, held myself back in the development so that I didn't go behind for some bizarre reason that I explained. This is the first time that anybody and perhaps suggested that I'm not actually insane. So that was cool.
You're actually quite normal. You're one of 4 groups, and one of them is exactly that. I can't outshine somebody. It's embarrassing. It's somehow not okay, so I'm going to turn it down. And I think, for some reason, the thing that always comes to me is turning the volume knob down on the stereo, right? Big old knob. Turn the knob down on the stereo. So that's a picture, and there's a reason. And the interesting thing I found about that book is if you look at the 4 different models that he proposes, I had a hard time thinking of one that didn't fit in one of them. Reasons that people don't do what they're supposed to do, all the things that I've heard over the years, and I'm sitting here thinking, I'm having a hard time finding a way that this doesn't work. And so I really a nice framework addition to the things that I do anyway, and I really enjoyed it for myself personally. And then also, so the noise that we've got is, I've got my daughter over here, who you can see there in the corner. Raise your hand, Whit. Whitney's back there, and she has brought her 4 kids over to visit for tonight because she and her husband have to head back to California. On a moment's notice tomorrow, he's in the military. So I was conducting this event and had 0 point, so I told her to just come on over, and we just sort of hang out. So she's here with her beautiful children, and that's the youngest one is just demonstrating his displeasure at being marginally ignored for a moment, which is perfectly right. So any other comments on the concept of upper limit or examples that you have observed in life for your clients? Okay, I guess that's a no. Oh, yeah.
Sometimes the things like, the stuff that you do, good or bad, right?
Is that off?
I have no idea.
Button on the top? Go ahead.
It's on?
Yeah, now it's on.
We can't see this face anymore. Anyway, so, often, we'll take responsibility, we're supposed to, we take personal responsibility for our things, whether we have this or that, or upper limit or no upper limit, but often, people around you are just a jerk, right? But the other thing is that, understanding that and understanding upper limits and why you know, we do things that we do, we start to build, you know, different processes to recognize the triggers. And, you know, I mean, I have to keep a journal, so, you know, writing these things down, okay, I'm feeling, why is this triggering me? Not what is the other person doing to me, but what's, you know, triggering me that I'm reacting in such a way, you know, and looking at those patterns and marking them down, and then you can go back and take a look, and you can see the threads, and you can see that, and then, you know, make progress in eliminating that. You know, be sort of more, you know, Buddhist-like, and nothing bothers you at any time. Barbara?
Yeah.
Just, there you go.
I don't think I've met a single client ever who didn't have some type of limiting belief, whether it's something that he learned at a young age or whether he taught it to himself from experience. You get up once, you get up again, you fall down again. And we all have failures and things that we need to work with. And I find enlightening from hearing Kellen talk about this book, people can change that. And just simply being aware of it already puts somebody in a much higher state of the potentiality to change that. So I don't think I've met a single person who didn't have limiting beliefs about what they thought they could do at some point in their life.
So, oh, okay, please. Sorry.
With a lot of what you just shared, Barbara, one thing that I'll always ask my clients is, on a scale of 0 to 10, where are you? Where have you been last week? And it's interesting to me that there's very, very few of us that will give ourselves the level 10. Once in a while I'll hear 10, I hear lots of 8s, hear lots of 9s. Very rarely will we ever give ourselves a 10, and that's directly connected to that upper limits, those limiting beliefs, those patterns of thinking that we can't be our highest level ever. There might be some, like, maybe I feel like I'm too great, or a lot with couples.
One of the things that we run into is on an upper limits is when they're doing good and everything, they hit the spike of upper limits in their relationship, and that's what creates it. And so that's when, say that they've got goals and everything, hitting them because we've cleaned up so much stuff for them. We always have to tell them, it's time to get your mind on other things. You have to create some goals. You have to create some into your relationship, whether it's creating a business together or it's taking your business to the next level, because if you get any kind of pause and are not creating, you hit that upper limits, and all of a sudden it's like, well, I don't deserve, and then you start beating yourself up, and you cap off. The first thing is to do is...
Yeah.
So there's a couple things I want to mention just as recommendations from the book, besides read it. One of them is, he suggests, first thing is, be aware that it exists. We all have these upper limit issues. Which one you are, I found helpful because it helped me more specifically, more quickly identify behaviors. I could quickly pinpoint for my section. It was like, okay, that's me. I get it. And so it was really easy for me to see which one I was. And so the first piece is just being aware of it, like Clarissa said, just knowing it, shining a light on it. Okay, this is now upper limit behavior. I get it. I have a name for it. I know what to call it. This is what I'm doing. I can choose to stay there or not. Why would I do that? But then I called it out, and I know that. The second thing he recommended, and it's lots of other stuff. The whole book is actually written around what's called the zone of, just a place where you are, you're at your best, where you do your 80-20 stuff, where you get all of that maximum energy, zone of genius. And there's another guy, Paul Scheele, who wrote about other kinds of zones, so backwards of things. But anyway, nobody owns the words. But his recommendation is to take a moment every day, 5 minutes, and do a particular kind of meditation. Now, meditation for me resonates strong, so I've been doing it for 40 years. But what he said is, I success in love, daily, abundance, success, and love, as I assist those around me to do the same. So that was his distillation of a method to help raise your upper limit, is to say those words and then meditate on them, let them sink in, and every 20 seconds or so say them again, give a minute to sink in, say them again.
And say it daily.
I will. Daily, in abundance, success, and love, as I assist those around me to do the same. Read in mind as I assist. Expansion takes place as I assist others. Not because I assist others or another others around me to do the same. We do. I'll say half of it. She says half of it. We have a game with it, and we talk about it, and consciously have made it a part of our life. So I'll say part of it. She'll say part of it. And we'll have a game with it, and then we'll talk about what it means, and then also, yeah, and meditate. And I've been known to spend a couple hours in meditation. So I'm not suggesting anybody do that. Okay, now whatever. So I'm not preaching that right now. Remember, this is a 40-year habit. Okay, so make sure you understand those behaviors. When you find yourself sabotaging your own success, or by procrastination, or by not doing something you're supposed to do, that's easy to do, but you just can't figure out why you're not doing it, that kind of feeling, and you're sitting here, why am I not doing this? I don't know, I just don't want to. Those are real clear signs of this you're upper limiting. There's no reason. I'm afraid. I don't know. Any of that kind of nonsense. Which type you are, go read the book if you want and figure it out. And it'll resonate with you quickly. So that, and then begin to practice this meditation. 2 immediate things you can do right now before you read the book, instantly, to get some value out of this idea. And then reading the book will give you an entire speech about zone of genius and how to live your life there and how to increase your productivity there and all kinds of other really cool stuff, which I really enjoyed. Any other final comments? We're at a half an hour, so let's wrap it up. Rick, anything else you want to add of wisdom, pearls of coolness? No. Okay.
Thank you very much. I appreciate being here with all of you. Even it is at a distance, it's a lot of fun to share the experience with you.
Well, we wish you were here and hope you next time. So anyway, we'll see you next time, and let's go ahead and sign off. Sean, you have anything to say? No. All right, we're signing off. Results on a Rampage. We'll see you later.